Welcome to the new book releases for the week of February the 26th. Our last list of February brings together a rather interesting assortment. I'm Morgan. If this is your first time here, we will have timestamps per genre for you to click around to. I hope you find something awesome today. We'll start the week off with some fiction. The first book up is Piglet by Lottie Hazel. Outside of a childhood nickname she can't shake, Piglet's rather pleased with how her life's turned out. An up-and-coming cookbook editor at a London publishing house, she's got a lovely, loyal friends and a handsome fiancé kid, whose rarefied family she actually, most of the time, likes, despite their upper-class eccentricities. One of the many, many things Kit loves about Piglets is the delicious, unfathomably elaborate meals she's always cooking. But when Kit confesses a horrible betrayal 2 weeks before they're set to be married, Piglet finds herself suddenly hungry. The couple decides to move forward with the wedding as planned, but as it nears and Piglet braces family expectations, pressure at work, and her quest to make the perfect cake, she finds herself increasingly unsettled, behaving in ways she can't explain. Torn between a life she's always wanted and a ravenousness that comes with not getting what she knows she deserves, Piglet is, by the day of her wedding, undone, but also ready to look beyond the lies we sometimes tell ourselves to get by. Next up, we have After Annie by Anna Quindlen. When Annie Brown dies suddenly, her husband, her children, and her closest friend are left to find a way forward without the woman who has been the linchpin of all their lives. Bill is overwhelmed without his beloved wife, and Anne-Marie wrestles with bad habits her best friend helped her overcome. And Allie, the oldest of Annie's children, has grown up overnight to care for her younger brothers and even her father, and to puzzle out for herself the many of the mysteries of adult life. I added a word, sorry. Over the course of the next year, what saves them all is Annie, ever present in their minds, loving but not sentimental, caring but nobody's fool, a voice in their heads that is funny and sharp and remarkably clear. The power she has given to those who loved her is the power to go on without her. The lesson they learn is that no one beloved is ever truly gone. Another emotionally packed heavy hitter is going to be Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. Colorado, 1864. Starr, a young survivor of the Sand Creek Massacre, is brought to the Fort Marion prison castle where he is forced to learn English and practice Christianity by Richard Henry Pratt, an evangelical prison guard who will go on to found the Carlisle Industrial School, an institution dedicated to the eradication of Native history, culture, and identity. A generation later, Starr's son Charles is sent to this school, where he is brutalized by the man who was once his father's jailer. Under Pratt's harsh treatment, Charles clings to moments he shares with a young fellow student, Opal Viola, as the two envision a future away from the institutional violence that follows their bloodlines. This one is set to be following the same family bloodlines as his other novel, There, just set in a past point where the story would have started. Next, we move into YA, and our first one is going to be a dystopian thriller. Now, this one is a bestseller in Korea, but it is now being translated into English and published in the US. It's the first in the Snow Globe duology, Snow Globe by Soyoung Park, and translated by Jungmin Lee Comfort. Under a vast dome, Snow Globe is the last place on Earth that's warm. Outside Snow Globe is a frozen wasteland, and every day citizens face the icy world to get to their jobs at the power plant where they produce the energy Snow Globe needs. Their only solace comes from the form of 24-hour television programming streamed directly from the domed city. Residents of Snow Globe have everything: fame, fortune, and above all, safety from the desolation outside their walls. In exchange, their lives are broadcast to the less fortunate outside, who watch eagerly, hoping for a chance to one day become actors themselves. Shobom lives for the time she spends watching the shows produced inside Snow Globe. Her favorite, Go Around, starring Go Hari, Snow Globe's biggest star, and it turns out the key to getting Shobom her dream life, because Hari is dead and Shobom has been chosen to take her place. Only life inside Snow Globe is nothing like what you see on television. Reality is a lie, and truth seems to be forever out of reach. Getting into YA fantasies, we have Fate Breaker, the conclusion of the Realm Breaker series by Victoria Aveyard. Our first book sets us out in a strange darkness growing in Alward, when Corianne Anne Amarat can feel it in her small town at the edge of the sea. The long-lost heir to an ancient lineage, it's not until Corianne meets a ragtag group of companions that she learns how to wield magic slumbering in her blood, and how together they might stop what's coming. And in the conclusion book, it's supposed to bring the ensemble cast from all the books together to face evil for one more time in an explosive finale. Then we have a Polish folklore that's a reimagining of Beauty and the Beast, Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poranek. Liska knows that magic is monstrous and its practitioners are monsters. She's done everything possible to suppress her own magic to disastrous consequences. Desperate to be free of it, Liska flees her small village and delves into the dangerous demon-inhabited Spiritwood to steal a mythical fernflower. If she plucks it, she can use its one wish to banish her powers. Everyone who has sought the fernflower has fallen prey to unknown horrors. So when Liska is caught by the demon warden of the wood, called the Lesse, I think, a bargain seems better than death. 1 year of servitude in exchange for the fernflower and its wish. Whisked away to the Lesse's crumbling manor, Liska soon makes an unsettling discovery. She is not the first person to strike this bargain, and all her predecessors have mysteriously vanished. If Liska wants to survive the year and return home, she must unravel her taciturn host's spool of secrets and face ghosts, figurative and literal, of his past. Because something wakes in the woods, something deadly and without mercy. It frightens even the Lesse and cannot be defeated unless Liska embraces the monster she always feared becoming. Then we move into adult fantasy. Our first one up is Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. Welcome to Tankawi, shining pearl of human civilization and a safe haven for those fleeing civil unrest. Or at least, that's how it first appears. But in the semi-flooded city, humans are, quite literally, on top, peering down from shining towers and aerial walkways on the Fathom Folk, sirens, sea witches, kelpies, and kappas, who live in the polluted waters below. For half-siren Mira, promotion to captain of the border guard means an opportunity to help her downtrodden people. But if earning the trust and respect of her human colleagues wasn't hard enough, everything Mira has worked towards is put in jeopardy when Nami, a know-it-all water dragon and Fathom Folk princess, is exiled to the city under Mira's watch. When extremists sabotage a city festival, violence erupts, as does the clampdown on Fathom Folk rights. But Nami and Mira must decide if the cost of change is worth paying, or if Tankawi should be left to drown. Then we have Lady in the Glass and Other Stories by Annie Bishop. This one is going to include previously published and unpublished tales, as well as 2 brand new stories written especially for the collection. Friends and Corpses is a murder mystery in which the corpse has some decidedly unusual qualities. And Home for the Holidays, a heartwarming return to the blood prophet Meg Corbin and the shape-shifting Simon Wolfgard from the others. It's got a range of her earliest writings like Realms of Blood and darker fairy tale retelling landscapes of Inferia and standalone stories of space exploration and fantastical creatures. Now for some romantasies, starting with Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sabrana. A library with a deadly enchantment, a fey lord who wants in, a human woman willing to risk it all for a taste of power. In a land ruled by ruthless fae, 21-year-old Lore Almeo's village is trapped in a forested prison. Lore knows that any escape attempt is futile. Her scars are a testament to her past failures, but when her village is threatened, Lore makes a desperate deal with the Fey Lord. She will leave her home to organize an enchanted library that hasn't been touched in 1,000 years. No Fey may enter the library, but there is a chance a human might be able to breach the accursed doors. She convinces him that she will risk her life for wealth, but really she's after the one thing the Fey covet above all, magic of her own. As Lore navigates the hostile world outside, she's forced to rely on 2 Fey males to survive. 2 very different, very dangerous, very attractive Fey males. When undeniable chemistry ignites, she's not just in danger of losing her life, but her heart to the very creatures she can never trust. Then we have A Fate Inked in Blood, this book 1 of the Saga of the Unfated by Danielle L. Jensen. Bound in an unwanted marriage, Freya spends her days gutting fish but dreams of becoming a warrior and putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Freya's dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the region's Jarl, landing her in a fight to the death against his son, Bjorn. To survive, Freya is forced to reveal her deepest secret. She possesses a drop of goddess's blood, which makes her a shield maiden with magic capable of repelling any attack. And it's been foretold that such magic will unite the fractured nation of Scotland beneath the one who controls the shield maiden's fate. Believing he's destined to rule Scotland as king, the fanatical Jarl binds Freya with a blood oath and orders Bjorn to protect her from their enemies. Desperate to prove her strength, Freya must train to fight and learn to control her magic, all while facing perilous tests set by the gods. The greatest test of all, however, may be resisting the forbidden attraction to Bjorn. If Freya succumbs to her lust for the charming and fierce warrior, she risks not only her own destiny, but the fate of all the people she has sworn to protect. Then we have The Rise of the Cinder Fae by Whitney Dean. Born and raised in the forgotten and broken kingdom of Ashbury, Allura has spent years resenting the royals of Pumpkin Hollow, the kingdom that forced the fall of Ashbury and procured the town as its own. Separated by a mysterious glass bridge, Ashbury is treated as the orphan kingdom, left to squander and starve with only the promise of protection from King Jasper, preventing anyone outside their realm from searching for the magic that lay within the ashy valleys and red skies. Because 25 years ago, the Cinder Fae arrived. As mysterious as the magic encompassing Ashbury, the Cinder Fae bargained for their lives by promising to keep the entire realm warm with their ability to mine mountainsides into coal. But Allura and the Cinder Fae hold a secret that could bring an end to Ashbury and the mysterious winged creatures who, despite Allura's best efforts to pry, refuse to share where they came from or why they can't return. In her desperation to prevent the downfall of her kingdom and the death of her beloved Fae, Allura drinks from an enchanted spring, convinced she can make the Prince of Pumpkin Hollow fall in love with her and guarantee their safety. But magic takes to give, and Allura didn't realize her heart would be the sacrifice. Last up for the week, we have a psychological horror called The Void Project by Robert Caron. A doctor at the helm of a cutting-edge psychiatric facility is consumed by an obsession with the minds of criminals. Armed with groundbreaking technology, he delves into the darkest corners of human psychology, seeking to unravel the origins of their most disturbing impulses. However, in his quest to understand the nature of evil, he stumbles upon a horrifying truth buried deep within the human psyche, a discovery that threatens to unravel not just his life, but the very fabric of reality. As he confronts the ethical and existential dilemmas of his research, he must navigate a labyrinth of moral ambiguity and face terrifying consequences of tampering with the unknown. That's all for this list. Maybe you found something new and exciting to start your March off with. If you enjoyed this and you haven't yet, you can check out one of my other review videos and subscribe so you can join us every Monday for new book releases. I hope you're finding something awesome to read today, and I'll see you in the next one.